I am live. Good morning, good morning. Look at this, like a great crowd already. Thank you guys. I'm going to just play some music and grab myself a cup of coffee. And Safi's already on the table here. I'll show you. Where is Safi? Safi girl. Ugh, Chris throwing money at me like I should play lottery today. Man, like it's pretty cool. I cannot say I sold something in Croatia because it's still not signed, so I better not do that, but that's kind of good. So here, can you see the Safi is here? But while I'm cleaning the table, I'm just going to put this thing on. So here's the music, and you want to download it now? No, let's not do that right now. Let's just play it, and I'll be here in a few seconds. Spill the coffee all over it now. Come on. Come on, cat, get it together. Oh, I need to find a deck. Guys, do you have a suggestion, or do you have a wish which deck to use? I'm actually just going to look for it, and let's do something that you like, guys. Happy birthday to Aries. Kind of give me what you want. I have the traditional decks. I have what I was using. What was it called? Light Seer. That was the modern one. I have Margaret Green over here on the table. I have the Cat Tarot, but I have another 100 decks. So just give me, like, you know, first come, first serve. Kind of tell me, killed it. There we go. You see? See, we have somebody. So, okay, let me find that one. Let's put the music back. And I think I know where it is. Found it, Kylie. Found it. It is here. I was cleaning, so you can tell I'm bumping into every furniture around. Isn't that always the case? Let's do this. Oh, I need my little notepad. Where is my notepad? Come on. Notepad. Oh, come on. and I need a pen. You can tell I didn't sleep enough, right? Last night. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh my gosh. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody? Thank you, Chris, for the money. It's just like freaking amazing. How is everybody doing? We have the incompetency of the highest level happening here in Ontario. And of course, you can tell I'm kind of like getting lately very disturbed with everything. I didn't even finish my monthlies and I had to jump and doing the orders instead. So my apologies. So instead of finishing April, I'm just going to start with May. And I think we're just going to kind of like chuck it up to, hey, you know, Kat kind of like just was incapacitated this month. So yesterday the Premier of Ontario, I don't know how much you guys know, it's like I'm in Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. His brother Rob Ford was a mayor of Toronto years ago. Actually Rob, and actually interestingly enough, he's actually really close to where I live, where he kind of like was a councillor initially. And this is actually a really nice deck and a really good pick. Didn't use it in quite a while. It's considered a beginner. Somebody told me it's a beginner, but I don't think it's a beginner. It's really lovely. Usually when I do financial readings, I use this deck, and the reason for that is like the pentacles are huge, right? So Rob Ford and Doug Ford are two privileged kids, sort of like trust fund kids. And of course, they felt entitled. They felt, hey, we need to be bigger. We need to lead. And the family is very rich, so they have basically picnics where they invite anybody who wants to come. So just imagine, and it's free for all basically. Anyway, we did manage to get Doug, and luckily Doug showed some interest in science. He didn't kind of like ignore it like some presidents, but inadequately enough, because he was still feeding his rich friends with the deals. And now, I don't know if you guys seen it, Ontario is like, oh my gosh, you're all going to die kind of a thing. They're predicting 10,000 to 18,000 cases per day by the end of May. Put in perspective, you have only 10 million people in Ontario, right? It's huge. And that's because he didn't act on time when the medical kind of like personnel told him. So we are now locked down, and I think what is even worse that he yesterday said that we are under the police state, basically, right? So cops can apparently stop you now. Like, I mean, that freaks me out. Like, they didn't kind of like make sure that people wear masks, that we kind of like are respectful of each other, but now cops can actually stop you and ask you. So I was planning to go next week because on Saturday is Dad's birthday. I was planning to scoot over there and bring him a cake, and you never know, he's 78, it might be the last year. So, and I think I'm going to just break the rules, and I'm just going to go and do it. Let me see, guys, how are you doing? When will I get to meet my genuine, authentic male boutique cat? Oh, would you like even an hour or something? Lynn, we would need to do the reading for that. And so this is where the tricky part is. That's why I'm using different kind of like things. I'm using oracles where sort of like you need directions in life. Oracles are really good. This is like a sage talking. I actually don't need cards, guys, at this stage. I'm able to pick up the energy. And for you, Lynn, I feel it's going to be actually relatively soon, within 2 years. I don't know, maybe that doesn't sound soon to you, but it sounds like you're going to meet somebody and everything will go well, and then you are going to be the one who will hesitate. So tarot is also very good, and that's why I use tarot for karma readings, which I advise everybody does it, because it's a shift that basically happens in us where it kind of like more, you maybe become more materialistic or more altruistic. And Lenormand is really good for giving timeline, but it's really also exhausting to do that, right? Oh, did you watch Inception? Wasn't it something, right? Oh my gosh, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. It's just like to me, he is like one of these best actors. Another one, Ethan Hawke, who is a little bit underappreciated, but I really think he's really good. What was this? Next one is Predetermination. I mean, you can tell I'm Aquarius. I like sci-fis. So Predetermination was so amazing. I think it's possibly one of the best, this futuristic time machine ever made so far. Anzac Day here next week. I might not be able to make it to the next. I think that's why I put bi-weekly. I plan to skip the next time. So we are going to see each other, guys, in 2 weeks, which is on the 1st of May. And that's kind of like the whole idea behind like trying to go on next Saturday and see Dad. So I might get arrested. I might be in jail. And then they force you to be in a very expensive hotel for 3 days to measure you, and on top of that they still didn't get vaccinated. The name was Predetermination with Ethan Hawke. So I hope I gave you, is it Predestination? I think it's Predetermination. So one of those two things. I don't think you can miss it if you Google it, right? So let's see. Kylie didn't open Gilded Tarot. So here I'm going to show you a little bit of the cards, and I think the camera is a little bit off. We had such a beautiful weather in Toronto up to, I guess, yesterday. I know it's cold. I was back to my winter coat today. So see the Tower, the Hangman. Look at the Two of Cups. And this is specifically good for the couples that are not traditional couples and actually love the energy. The Empress, Eight of Cups. It's very, very rich. This is actually, it was actually a gift from a lady who did tarot all her life. And even if you smell it, still a little bit smells, you know, moldy kind of a thing. But to me, when you inherit a deck from somebody who does tarot, it's actually very powerful. Of course, they need to clean it, but their energy is still there, and you can read much better than otherwise. So this really gives me, so I'm reversing it everything, and I'm going to reshuffle it because it hasn't been a while. I want to put a little bit of my energy in there. So guys, how have you, Predestination? Okay, how you have been? Like, are you guys locked down? Like, I mean, I still didn't get vaccinated, and I'm not going to, it looks like, at this stage, because the one that I wanted, Johnson & Johnson, which is arriving here end of April, and apparently also has blood clots. So never mind, you know, kind of like I have to wait until they clear all of those issues, and until then I can cross my fingers because of my allergy and my family history of heart disease. Kind of like I cannot really play with this, right? And that's the problem. So I don't know. I heard, I watched Rachel Maddow one night, and the night when she got vaccinated, and also with J&J vaccine. So, but maybe she doesn't have that history. She also has allergy apparently. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I like that it's in one shot and you're kind of like done with this. Oh, you're slowly opening in your area, Barbie. Oh my gosh, you know what? Like, when we had this nice weather and short sleeves weather for the last 2 weeks, and like kind of like dining on patios, it just like started to feel more normal. I was like, oh my gosh, let's go. Like, it's just drive-throughs through the fast food restaurants is yucky. So let's go. So Aries, you guys are going first. Happy birthday to you. That will be my brother, even though he's an early Aries. And you know, like, I mean, selling stuff in Croatia is amazing. Like, it's I want to give it a compliment to say second world country, but it's really in between second and third. And like, you would not believe how much yelling I had to do last week for everybody to take this seriously. And then, maybe because of the yelling for stuff that usually sells for years, it takes years to sell it. In Toronto, it takes literally hours, and it sells over the price, and for quite a bit, for sometimes up to 50% over the price. There, it's years, and you get some measly offer. So I got everything I wanted. So now, fingers crossed that this kind of like comes through. So let me put it one more time. Aries over here, a stamp. 15:11. I spoke for 15 minutes. Barb, we had the same thing, mandated masks, but people didn't listen, and there was like no manpower that was like enforcing it, so it kind of like was useless. And I really think the spread comes from warehouses here. Like, I mean, health workers are upset. Of course, we have a little bit more of a socialist system. The Premier of Ontario took away sick days that people had, so you would just use it was like not much, 2 days, and I think paid, and 3 days unpaid. But for example, if you're sick, you would not go to work and spread it. He took it away, so now people go to work sick and spread it because they don't have an option. So everybody's upset now. Left side, right side, he is not in a good kind of position right now. So let's see this. Yeah, protection lasts 6 months, and apparently for some vaccines like Moderna and Pfizer, protection is already not there because the streams that we have here already, I think it's the UK stream, like what is it, B111 or something. And there's like South African, I think it's also Brazilian. So it's going to mutate, it's going to be fun. 5 of Cups, the Sun, Aries, oh my gosh. And look at this, it's really talking for your birthday, right? So you were one of those lucky signs that got the reading this month. And you have the Empress, so this is referring exclusively or very, very targeted to Aries from March. And there's like something connecting to it for some reason. Or if you're in the first 5 days of April as well. I know that you have birthday just like 2 more days. Then you have 9 of Swords. Then you have the Chariot reversed. And then you have 6 of Wands. Okay, so why is this all under some kind of like weird angle? Because from where I am, this looks okay. And maybe I move it here a little bit. So you can see that in a normal way. Is this better? Okay, it's better. Now, this is a little bit of confusing kind of like thing because it almost looks like it's going to be something up and down and up and down and up and down. What? Barb is leaving us? Oh, bridal shower, go, go, go. Thank you so much for being and stopping by. Enjoy. And just make sure you wear the freaking mask, okay? Just kind of like don't get something because then I have to come and cook for you and do the tea and everything. So I feel like a loose kitty. Yes, cute, cute, cute. Okay, so Aries, thank you, Kylie, taking over. I appreciate that. So 5 of Cups generally talks, as you know, about feeling sorry about something. It's usually kind of like when we mull in our heads about the past and something that happened, something that is messing up with them. But at the same time, and this is really typical for your sign, opening all of these possibilities that actually result out of one door closing is something that is really exciting. And there's like something new, that is something nourishing. There's like something that, as I said, it's very positive. I would say it's really, really putting the Aries of March on notice, even though it's applying to everybody clearly because 6 of Wands ends up. So something is starting this week with a little bit of apprehension for this to kind of like really kind of like be the source of you being Phoenix, of kind of like raising about the issues. However, it's going right back to this. Like, I mean, it's almost like that you don't believe your good luck, that you don't believe that something is happening because this clearly is upset. You're like looking for what can go wrong. I mean, if something's going to go in a ditch or something, which is kind of like really weird. This is the motion card and this is a motion card, right? So the Chariot is like, usually I tell people, okay, something is going right in the ditch, something is not going to work out. So it's almost like that's what I said, the Phoenix raising, like from something that just didn't really work properly to, hey, it's succeeding. So it's going to be a success, absolutely, week over here. So it's going to really kind of like work out, whatever you're doing. It's kind of like nurturing, it's nourishing. Let's see what numerology we have. So it's 9, it's 8. It's something financially really rewarding. So if you guys looking for a promotion, it almost looks like you're going to be told that you're not getting it, or a new job. And then something else is going to come up that's going to be even more and more financially rewarding. But you might feel like, for example, work-wise, that you cannot maybe perform this properly, that you don't know everything. And word of advice, I always apply for jobs that I was not fully qualified, that I was, let's say, 80% qualified, because it forced me to obtain the 20% really, really quick, right? So I would tell them, I'm a quick learner, and you can tell it from the stuff, and they always kind of like that attitude. So don't think that you need to have everything, and that could be like a little bit of self-doubt. Or if it's a relationship, also something is going, something is not going, and then in the end there is like a success, and a really success where you kind of like a clear winner, you're getting what you want or something better. So yeah, Aries, as I said, don't let insecurity come in the way, because that's the only thing that could be an enemy. And why did everybody leave me? It says we don't have any viewers. It just went right down. Is there something wrong with the streaming? Is anybody hearing me there, guys? You two still hear me? No? I don't know. Do I need to refresh this? If I refresh this, then I'm going to possibly lose all of these entries. Oh, there it goes. I think it goes back. Crystal clear. I guess it is the YouTube. So, Kylie, if you could, after 6 signs, like, you know, kind of like put your foot down that I need to draw the cards for everybody. And then we're going to have a pick a card segment. And at the end, we are going to have also pick a card segment. And I'm going to draw a card for all the mods. Okay, so that's it. All right, so like we have 2, so this one came first. Virgo, so Virgo's next. And I didn't fix this one. Was it a Scorpio that I chopped a little piece of their paper? I was like wondering if it's going to come out differently as a result, but this kind of like works. Okay, Scorpio. And Scorpio's reading got cut out. No, sorry, Virgo, what am I talking about? Because I just mentioned Scorpio. Scorpio reader got cut out and get messed up. And I don't know why. And that's when I said, it's just like everything is against me. And the world is not going to stop if I don't do it. And of course, I was like all upset about it. But it is what it is. So, Virgo. Let's see. Which one was Virgo? I guess this one. And let's see. Here is a Virgo sun. I have Mercury in Virgo, so this is kind of like ruling my communication. I want all the details covered, which is thankfully in my chart, otherwise I would be just air or something. So you have King of Swords, you have Wheel of Fortune, Karma card, and you have Knight of Swords. So this is the planet of luck over here, guys. So King of Swords kind of like gives that Libra kind of like attitude, right? Where there is the fairness, it's a justice that is really, really important. Maybe it's somebody you have in your life. This person could be, let's say, silent, like not so much if he's reversed, because King of Swords reversed, you just want to quietly leave the freaking room, same as Queen of Swords. It's just like, I'll come later, kind of a thing, right? So Wheel of Fortune is, oh, look at how great this is. It almost looks like it's some kind of like different planet, that it's kind of like a matrix, almost like kind of reminds me, kind of, it's some kind of matrix that somebody is putting and switching that wheel, and then we get the destiny we are doing. It's kind of like these visions that I had, how the other side really looks like, that there is basically a programming mechanism. It's almost like holodeck, where you say what kind of experiences you really want to have on this journey on Earth, on this stuff, and you just see like they confirm. And where was it? Was there somewhere in California, Chris? The flying over of the extraterrestrial kind of like stuff. It was really interesting, kind of like to see that. So Wheel of Fortune means that this is going to be extraordinary week for you. Maybe you guys are kind of like wheeling and dealing, because this is like what swords do, like they rule negotiation, they rule communication, they rule kind of like being really on a go. You kind of like want to kind of like clean some kind of paperwork, You guys had your taxes, or you're having your taxes coming up? Talking about taxes, I need to do them. I think we have them until the end of April, unless they extend it. Um, because of pandemic, nothing is like really working on a date as it kind of like is. So there is like something like that you're like really kind of like lifting like every stone and kind of like dotting all your i's, crossing all your t's, and by doing that you're generating some energy. It also could be that you're doing some cleaning of some old stuff, something that kind of like needs to kind of like be kind of like worked on, and then finally there is a culmination. So Virgo, this is going to be, or you have extended to May 15. Okay, so maybe this is what it is. You guys are preempting the process, because the only thing that kind of like is a little bit of off, I would say, is that we are going from King of Swords to Knight of Swords, right? So it could be like, I mean, that maybe this kind of like force, like the tremendous amount is not more needed. So you're kind of like willing to kind of put it back, because there is a difference between these two guys. Even though this guy is more powerful, I guess, in his tower, this guy is more powerful on the ground, right? So like if you play chess, he is the king and he is the knight, right? The knights are moving in a very kind of like different ways and kind of like very unpredictable. And on top of that, this is the knight of air, or knight of swords, which is the fastest. And this really, look at him. He's determined. He will go against the lightning or anything. So it could mean that more action is needed, that kind of like you said, the process. It could be also a lawyer, it could be accountant, it could be mediator. I don't know if you guys are kind of like dealing with some kind of like real estate transaction, because this also rule like this ridiculous kind of like luck coming through. So in any case, be ready to roll up your sleeves, because you will really need to do some stuff. If you guys do not roll up your sleeves, then you don't kind of like do and generate this energy, and it has to be very fair. Oh, this is a warning that I have to tell you. Knight of Swords is going to kind of like even declare himself, like he's going to say, I haven't been honest about this, and I haven't been honest, and as a result, kind of like find me. So that total kind of like transparency and total kind of like self-review is kind of like going to be very important. So make sure that everything you're doing in a very dignified and diligent way. All right, who's next? That was, oh, that's why I was talking about Scorpio. See, I didn't see it, and it kind of really, it's chopped off, but they wanted to talk, and they really, it looks like the spirit guides are here, and that's kind of like why I jumped to it. It was so weird. It was like, just pick me. I hope they're still here. So let's put the timestamp over here on my end. All right, so Scorpio. You have any Scorpios here? Anybody something with Scorpio? My ascendant is on the edge with Libra Scorpio. It's kind of like, I have to tell you, not very often that I feel that Scorpio in me, but when I do, like it was last week, oh, people can feel my stink, and I really want to remove that part of me. I'm just like reading The Power of Now recently. Like, who is this? Like, I mean, Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Let me see, can I select this? I want to look at it later. All right, I pull it up. Oh, Scorpio ascending there. My house in my husband's estate still not settled. I just talked to my lawyer about it Thursday. You push it through. You might actually like just do it in a week, or everything will going to be set. Actually, it's 2 week. Sorry, this is a 2-week reading right now. So Scorpio, okay, it's not going to be anything major. It's really interesting. You have people, Queen of Cups, which is you, and you have a Knight of Wands, but then you have a Four of Cups. So it is a feeling of some kind of like uncertainty. It's actually very different rendition in this particular deck, and it's actually way more positive than the other decks. You know that I take the archetype, but I add the visual to it, because in the archetype card, it's going to show a dude or a child sitting under a tree, which is the same thing here, and feeling a little bit kind of like lost, and maybe there is a melancholy, maybe there's depression, and then you would see sideways this huge cup coming through, and he doesn't see it, right? He just is too much in his own internal world. Here he sees it, and he sees it clearly, right? But also, I don't know if you can tell here, the squirrely also is coming to it, mind you. I guess they're not nuts and everything. So there is like some special nourishment. It also looks like it's much, much bigger than the other ones. So in this case, how I would interpret is to say, maybe they're like offers, right? So let's say you're dating, and this man or this woman seems to be nice, and you want to continue on the next date as a result of it, right? But you kind of like meet somebody else as well, kind of like, and they also seem nice. So now you're confused. Now you're confusing yourself, and you're realizing you're confusing yourself. But you're saying, if I'm confused, this is not a good sign. That means, again, that there is like the energy that kind of like so quickly fizzled, which kind of like is the message of these kind of like three things. And you continue, and then out of nowhere, you're one day sitting waiting in a line in a store, and then it's like, wow, it's somebody's smile just gets you, and you're like, oh, right? And then you know why all of the other things that really didn't stick, right? But when you opened your eyes, because that's the message over here, right? Then you have this Queen of Cups, and then you have a Knight of Wands. So the things that I don't like is like the wands are not having a staying power, but they are very sexy, and the sex would be really, really good. So you are offering them love over here, like to somebody. What is really good is that he's kind of like looking not exactly kind of like that way, but sort of, right? So it could be a fleeting romance of a sort. It could be like simply infatuation, but it's going to be sizzling and steamy and passionate, right? So as I said, you need to kind of like know that this could be something really short-lived, but nonetheless, like, what is this going to do for you? Even if it doesn't last, it's going to give you the sense of, oh, I didn't lose it. I'm still, like, I'm in my prowess in bed, or I didn't lose it. Kind of like, it's going to be really interesting. Oh, what's his name? Chris is dating, oh, is it somebody? Oh, somebody's walking on a, and that's kind of like, I'm seeing people just like walking on I'm on the third floor. It's like, how can that be? And I'm seeing somebody's on the roof here. So yeah, I think Chris is kind of like dating somebody, but mind is going slow. I'm wondering if she's seeing him as, is he having a staying power? And I don't mean it in that way, what I mean. So what is needing you? And so hopefully the Lord thinks someone tried to pull something funny, because you should be celebrating now. It's so weird what's happening during the pandemic. A friend of mine just like texted me a few days ago. He said, you would not believe it, his dad died, right? And he said they're calling him from, like, his dad died, but the body couldn't be found because the graveyard doesn't know where he's buried. Imagine that happening. So he's trying for now 10 years to figure it out. So they call him, and they're telling him that the body is not even there, that they went through all the graves. So it's just like talking about confused, right? And kind of like doing this stuff. All right, so see who is next. Who is next? Hi, Colorado. Nice to see you. And like, very specific name. I like it. Well, Barbie's not here, but this is my ascendant. Do we have any other Libra? Moon, sun, or ascendant? Kind of like very, very important. So, let's put the tag. Let's put a tag over here. Libra. Libra, we have Judgment reversed, and then Two of Swords, and ooh, ouch, and ouch, and ouch, and ouch. So there is like some kind of bad judgment which is leading to confusion and hurt. It's kind of like being blunt about it, right? However, I have to tell you, when the Judgment card comes through, which I'm considering one of my 4.5 karma cards, the reason why I consider them karma cards, I feel this is kind of creating a moment in your life that is going to stick, that, you know, like sometimes you look back in the past and you remember some moments really vividly and the other moments not at all, and then you read maybe your old diary and you read what happened, and sometimes it's complete blank and sometimes is, oh yes, 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 that happened, kind of a thing. It's just kind of, I think, gradation of the impact that events and people are leaving on us. So for example, if somebody dies, that's going to be karmic impact, right? But I don't think death is necessarily a card to read that. That's why I put judgment, because judgment is the transition of the energy versus death is just a shift to the next stage, right? So here, what is really interesting is like that's the Pluto kind of like ruling, and it could be again that maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio, and if that's the case, then it could be that you don't know what the heck they're doing. You don't really trust what is going on. Like all of your senses are kind of like triggered, and that is it. Like, right? Like you kind of like really feel that you cannot even make a decision. Like everything makes no sense, and each time like you're running towards some solution, it just hurts. It hurts, and because you're not reaching decision, it's kind of like going even deeper. There's like something, this also shows up when we are clearing some events. So when we kind of like choose this path, this 3D version of life, we also choose the experiences. Like, you know, what was this? Arnold Schwarzenegger in this Mars movie, like what Total Recall, right? He kind of like thought he's choosing a journey to Mars, but in fact, it kind of like managed to refresh his memory, which was like kind of like hard drive deleted kind of a thing, right? So just like one thing led to another to a world of hurt. So when this shows up, it's allowing us just like that. We kind of like recall certain things, and it's kind of giving us ability to kind of like really think through it, and how kind of like we can eradicate maybe certain things in our past. Kylie, I'm doing the angel cards for mods as well. No, initially I do angel cards for everybody, so mods and everybody who is like here in live does it, gets it. By the second level, then I just pull a card, so you get a little bit more like a mini reading if you wish, right? So just to let you know, and I do it after I do 6 signs, when I do halfway. So that was it. Oh, it was Libra, and of course I didn't put the stamp over here. I'm just going to guess it over here and put a question mark, because I'm thinking like I just only read 3. Here you go. I don't know if you see me kind of like pulling it, because I can see it's not there. Okay, awesome. Thank you, sweetie. Then we have Gemini. And I probably should give to all the mods my WhatsApp, so guys, you can kind of like reach me this way. Like, I mean, we are like so close, we're spending so much time together, more than like majority of my family members. So just kind of like if you want it, just send me a note. I'll send you my telephone number. Always send me your telephone number, and I kind of like put you in. So you know, my real name is Bianca, so that's kind of like what you will see. So let's do the Geminis, and let's put a stamp here. Stamp here. Oh my goodness, just give me a second, and that's downstairs. Hello? Sorry?
Technician for the bell.
Technician for?
Bell.
What this has to do with me?
Actually, ma'am, coming to your neighbor, like 304, but he's not
Oh,
on.
I am in 302.
If you can please open the lobby door.
No, I'm sorry, I can't. You need to contact the person from 304.
Thank you.
Welcome. Oops, am I being a bitch here? Like, I mean, I don't let anybody in the building who is not really coming for me. So, Gemini. Okay, this kind of wanted to come out. So, ooh. Now, that's interesting. We don't have, we have Gemini, and thank God we have Gemini. And like, I mean, have best friend Scorpios, and then have Gemini, and then I have Pisces and Virgo. kind of like these are my closest kind of like, oh, and Aries, closest friends. So you have both Hierophant and the High Priestess. One is reversed. So this is clearly telling you the path, clearly. Because High Priestess would be, you know, like this is tried and true, do something orthodox, and this would be like, hey, get a tarot reading, because that is going to vibrate better with you and you're going to be more enthused to move forward. But in this case, it's actually better for you to go tried and true. And like, I mean, I know shooting myself in the foot, but I'm just telling you kind of like what I see, because that's kind of like the best path forward. Hierophant is also what I consider a marriage card of a sort, and it's kind of like declaration of something in front of the group of people. Hierophant can be a boss, specifically if it's a bigger corporation, so it's kind of like it's less achievable, has more kind of like hierarchy steps over there. Well, High Priestess is more or less intuitive knowledge. So let me repeat this. You are not going to have intuitive knowledge for the next 2 weeks. So don't gamble it, right? Because Gemini, like, you're like very vibrant. There is like this mercurial kind of like streaking you, and it can go from very, very, very bad to very, very good, and it can keep switch back and forth in an instance, right? So the fact that you're getting King of Cups in the end tells me that whatever is happening, going to be emotionally feeling very secure and fulfilled, and that things are going to really kind of like work out well, right? So it is very important over here for you guys to note, do not stray away from the path. If somebody says, don't try to go for a shortcut, just don't. Because this is actually not the least expensive option. In fact, this could be the most expensive option if you really think about it. So if you're negotiating marriage, if there's a prenup, you'll feel that somebody is kind of like quote unquote screwing you over, and you really need to kind of like check everything, kind of like everything. So if something looks not right, if something looks morally wrong, then you need to address it, because it's going to come back to bite you. Because generally you're really good sensor, you're good in feeling how things are coming your way and what's really happening, but you're not going to have this ability. Just think about it, that you have spiritual COVID. You know how with COVID you lose the sense of smell and taste. So you can be served any food and you really not know other than just looking at it. So very, very carefully, just go and find good professionals who will be helping you, who will be dealing with you, who will be kind of like engaging something on your behalf. If this is a deal with relationship or some prenup or buying a house where you kind of like are trying to kind of like deal financially, again, just do it in the most traditional possible way possible, which means finding a lawyer, for example, who kind of like had quite a bit of those deals under his or her belt. You're going to be happy in the end. King of Cups, it's either getting some collaboration. This can also, of course, indicate an event. It's emotional fulfillment. I would almost like say it's a state of bliss with King of Cups, because generally this kind of like is the idea of the emotional fulfillment. It's the highest card in a Cups suit. So with that warning, everything else is really, really working well. So kind of like so far everybody's going to have a really good week. Oops, I don't want to phone on the floor. So let's see, one more before the thing. You'll have to email us mods about the WhatsApp details. Sure, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. I think everybody's email, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping your privacy, guys, when we are kind of like doing this. So that's why I never use your real name, except, you know, Kylie just went right there, this is my name, kind of a thing. So have to kind of like check it. So let's do that. And so that way you can even bug me if you want to. I mean, my WhatsApp is like urgent calls only if I'm really busy, or I just like put it on if kind of like something else is going on. So we have Taurus. Taurus, happy birthday, because your birthday is going to be in 2.5 days from now. So it's a biggie. We are switching sun a little bit earlier this year, so it's going to also be a shift in energy. So from this big aggressive, fist in the face, let's punch the door down, we are going to go into more kind of like grounding, more kind of like, hey, I really want, you know, good food. And it's almost like you're sealing the deal right now when kind of like certain things, it's almost like when you have a salesperson and it's prospecting a whole bunch of people, and then in Taurus period, okay, let's sign them up, kind of a thing, right? So let's see what we have here for you. Yes, please email me with details, and I can send you all, guys, my phone number. So then you can just join me or send me your details, and I can put you on. So either way, I know that, like, I mean, and I'm not that great with WhatsApp. Like, I was like lately trying to get literally a friend of mine who he's also behind on technology, and I couldn't. So I just can't believe it. And then I had to put one before the number, and that was it. That's all it fixed it. So Taurus, finally. Ooh, as I said, the family and home and happiness is going to be important. So see, I was really looking for this reading because I wanted to know how, and Dad and I are currently not really on good terms. We kind of like, he's not returning my calls. His dementia is really rampant, and it's very sad, but it's kind of like unfortunate because I don't know if you guys ever had to deal with dementia. It's bad because the person dies while they're still alive. So I have already done my mourning, and now I'm just like hoping that maybe here and there I can see a glimpse of who he is, who he was, rather to say, and still kind of like go and try to kind of like check on him. So it's going to be a good week. 8 of Cups is kind of like looking in a distance. So either you guys are kind of like trying to find what is the best for you, because 8 of Cups in generally in the other decks, what the heck is this? Do you know what this is? I can't tell. It looks like an animal, but I would not be able to say what this is. It looks like it's a beak, but it looks like it has 4 legs. So, very strange. Oh, I know what it is, and I don't know what's the word in English. The one that goes, it's not a badger. No, badger. It's the one that goes under the ground. Maybe you guys will know it. So, but look at the cups over here. The cups are, some of them are kind of like flipped, and they kind of like leak the benefits, and almost looks like that little thing is benefiting out of it, but somebody else kind of like didn't want to. So you know, like, I mean, how sometimes you break up with somebody, and then you hear immediately they're finding somebody else, and all of a sudden, I want them back, like, because now the other people want them, and vice versa, kind of a thing. When they all of a sudden somebody finds out that you're with somebody, and then they want you back, as long as that energy is there, right? So 8 of Cups sometimes have this energy over here that you want something that maybe somebody didn't want, or somebody else wanted. It's a little bit of stubbornness, but it also has an energy where you kind of like go through and you're looking after your own best interests, right? Especially this is confirmed. Both you have 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. So this is a pinnacle of some sort. Really, really big pinnacle. So the energy is like, one, there's like something moving forward. So there's like some kind of like financial reward. There's like some kind of excitement about the situation over here. So 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. The family gathers together. So clearly, even though he's playing, I guess, things, maybe he forgets, maybe he doesn't know how to use the phone, in my case, right? He kind of like wants this. But given that he's Taurus, he also wants me to bring him some money, right? So if you guys have a Taurus in your life, buy them a really nice gift for these early Tauruses for this next 2 weeks. I guess they're starting on the 20th, so it's going to be until the 1st of May. And 10 of Pentacles can also mean about some kind of windfall, guys. Windfall from the family. I think this could be an inheritance of a sort. And maybe because of this inheritance, you might be going into... And this is almost like finishing this monthlies that I'm doing. Like this inheritance can be moving you away from something, because we have the little squirrely over here as well. Interestingly, here we have the cat, and I think this is it. We have a cat. How come we don't have a dog? We have a bee, busy bee. So there are going to be just the benefits. You'll be kind of like getting, I don't know, the nectar word keeps coming to me. and I'm just trying to see, and then when the word came to me, I started to look, and that's what I saw the bee. So for some reason, I guess this intuitive suggestion was there. I don't know, do we have any beekeepers there literally? What else could be a nectar? It could be something with beauty. Maybe you're going in some kind of like treatment. Be careful, we are going into, I think, Mercury retrograde as well. So that's kind of like to be cautious about that. So now we had 6. So I'm going to do the angel cards for everybody in order how you showed up. So I wish I kind of like thought about it before. This is probably for me. It's commitment. I guess I'm going to be signing that deal. We'll see what happens. So let me just scroll it back. And the very first one was Needing Yogi. You see, Virgo's the first one. And kind of a position and everything is done. And she was not late. She showed up. And you have honesty. Like the lady standing in front of the mirror. So it's almost like self-honesty that you need to kind of like be in touch with a part of you or something, which is kind of like really important. Lorna H. Then we have you next. Lorna H. And Chris is driving. He's maybe going to his girlfriend. Like honk 2 times if that's the case. Then we have expansiveness over here. Actually, I have never drawn this card before. And this is really, Lorna, you said you're Gemini. This would be a really, really good fit because these air balloons are lifting us up. Maybe you felt that you were in some kind of like funk, that you're not able to kind of like do stuff. And now you're going to lift yourself about the problems, about what other people are pulling you by the sleeve, what they want. You're going to see what you want. Is she keeping? Oh, interesting enough, she's pointing. She's pointing. So sort of like you're going to pinpoint where you want to go and how you want to get there. Very, very positive. So Kylie. Oh my gosh, Kylie. Kylie, you're like inundated with messages. Expectancy. There's some kind of gift. That's Tiger. What happened? What happened? Do you hear that? What? Who that? Who that? He has really distinguished, like deep voice, doesn't he? Like somebody passed by. Then you have play. Then you have wisdom. I'm just trying to put it together. Kind of like compassion. You have harmony. Healing. I have never seen this many coming from anybody. For anybody. And then you have light. So I think there's like something inside of you that you're like jumping over a hurdle, or you already did. And maybe, and I'm sorry to be forward, like maybe you had self-esteem issues, and as a result, you had to build a stronger you, stronger Kylie. And right now, like you're so strong. Hey, I know, somebody's passing by. It's okay. I'm here. It's okay. Oh, he gets so upset. He's like such a good watchdog. Hey, it's okay. That you're passing over the hurdle, Kylie, and like now you're so confident and so powerful, and you don't want to give up what you kind of like really worked really, really hard on, right? And at the same time, now you're ready when you kind of like build this kind of like shield and armor around you, also to develop those softer kind of like skills and then be more playful and compassionate. So it's almost like sometimes we go through a relationship that is painful. And to some people it takes a day, to other people it takes a decade to get over, right? And it's not so much just forgetting the person, but it's also getting all the qualities that we need in order to be happy in a relationship, which is playfulness, which is compassion, right? Harmony, that you know when to keep your mouth shut, wisdom, and when not to, right? Because literally, like, I mean, there is a green light for you, like, and you're kind of like really moving forward. So absolutely lovely. Chris, you're next. Chris, you're next. This one wants to come out. Exploration. So, mister, you're zooming in on some kind of vacay. I guess you're kind of like going to have fantastic weekend or some sort, or like you're really taking it easy. I guess that's your ascendant Taurus. And that's kind of like it's really showing up here. So you're eyeing something, or you're having the goals in a distance, but you're going to be really adventurous, kind of like and playful. So that's really, really nice. Then I have Lynn Westbrook. Lynn, we have intention. The same thing, you need to focus on your goal, and you have to figure out how to get there with the least amount of steps. You need to be focused, which means you need to be kind of like razor sharp in mind, and kind of like it's also a good way to set a good time to set the goals and everything about it. Then Kelsey, good morning. I hope you're still here. Let's see what we have for you, Kelsey. Kelsey, you also have intention. The same thing goes to you, right? Like as you can see, there's like a little petting distance. So eye on the ball, kind of like you really need to feel it with your own body, with your energy, that you're heading somewhere. So I don't know what is the new in your life or what you want to finalize. Like it's almost there. It just like requires like a really kind of like presence that is going to be really important. Crystal Smith, you having healing. So either like healing is such a wide basically coverage, because we generally kind of like think it's either seeing a medical doctor, or kind of like licking the wounds from, let's say, past relationships. But to me, healing actually means much more, which could be also receiving a positive energy from the people, which means that we don't like basically healing happens when you shift from the negative to positive energy. And sometimes we're holding on to negative energy as a part of our, did I really have to start right now, as a part of our kind of like who we are, and then we are holding on to that. So healing is a part where kind of like we are releasing this. I'm going to try one more. If this continues, I'm going to close the window. And let's see who else. We have less people. Did I do Barbie? I don't think so. They're going to do it. Let me close this. We are still going to hear it, but it's going to be less. So Barbie, and I'm going to take a picture of it and send it for her. Barbie, and you also have two. You have humor and you have expansiveness. Look at that, like I didn't get it ever, and now I'm getting two in a day. Okie dokie, let me just grab a picture for her so she sees what she got there. So Barbie, clearly is going to be very light and very focused, kind of like a main stage in your life where you're going to really, really enjoy it. It's all going to be good. Kind of like you can actually think big at this stage. I'm just reading Knitting Yogi that's telling that you got Pfizer, yeah. Who else? Am I missing somebody? Oh, Kathy Sibas is here. Let's do you. We have synthesis. What sign are you, Kathy? Look at it. There's kind of like a rainbow. Like there is like rainbow to me is always layers of the light and how much it kind of crosses, and the little kind of particles that are water drops that are lighter on the top, darker on the bottom. So hence it's heavier energy on the bottom as well. But it to me it sounds like actually the first thought that came to my mind that maybe you have, how sometimes we just don't kind of like apply lateral thinking. For example, last week a friend of mine said, oh, why don't you use your clothing steamer to clean your stove? I said, what? And I never thought about it. And I have a steamer and I use it, and it worked like a freaking charm. It's just like you put the steam and loosen everything up without chemicals. So synthesis, to me, that's the kind of first thought that came to my mind, that you're going to be using some skills that you already have that you never thought applying it to something else, and you'll be able to apply them very, very successfully. So I think that's going to be very, very helpful. And let's see, Colorado, hey. Let's see what we have for you. Mary. you having harmony. So it's a good vibration. It just like simply means that either you are bringing like that element that is needed for harmony, or somebody's coming into your life and bringing that element. So it's kind of like really, really good energy. So I think that's it. That's it. Oh, you're Taurus, Kathy. Okay, so I know. Kelsey, definitely applicable today. I'm glad to hear that. Always glad to hear it. So we are going to pick a card. So I'm going to just hide this so I can shuffle without all these jumpers. And you guys think of the question that you want to have answered. I'm going to use Morgan Greer because it's right here on the table for that. So remember, everybody, I'm skipping next week because I'm actually breaking the law and driving to Niagara Falls to see my dad. So think about what you want, the wish. Think about your wish. Okay, the door number 1, I got it. Left door and center door. And I think something flicked, did it? Where is it? No, it didn't. Okay. All right. I have what I need, and let's close this thing here and put a stem here. 10113 10113. All right, so if you guys picked the door number 1 or the left one, and freaking camera, need to buy a new tripod. I think that's the problem because I'm seeing it like this and it's really not coming across that way when I put it on the table. There's like a 9 of Swords. So guys, there's like something that actually is weighing very heavily on you, even if you maybe don't want to admit yourself. And it was, or it is, a very difficult kind of like thing to deal with. You're kind of like trying to mull it over different kind of things, but look, we have the hands tied kind of a situation, and something keeps spinning just over and over and over again, right? So when this reverses, it's kind of like giving you the taste of the exit, but not necessarily an exit. So the answer for the next 2 weeks, because this is all there is for 2 weeks, is a no. But I'm hearing the birdie just coming to my way, and it's just amazing energy. But even though it's a no, you're going to start seeing a solution. And so I would still not give up on it, kind of a thing, right? So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. The door number 2 is the World reversed. This is also not good. This is my half karma card. And the reason why I call it half, even though it's a whole card, I cannot split it, is because it's happening right now. So it kind of like doesn't have a big effect, sort of like, let's say, a month from now. And why it's karma is kind of like changing a shift, but it could be changing a shift about something that you need to step up and contribute because it's kind of like reversed. Why the World is not good when it's reversed is because it shows sometimes entitlement, and kind of like we all are entitled from time to time, of course, right? But here it shows that some other people kind of like get pushed away, because to get any wish you also need to get a certain energy, right? You send this energy to the universe and eventually kind of comes back and flies to you. So what you may be experiencing now is something you kind of like worked on 10 years ago or 100 years ago, like 50,000 billion years ago, when you were like just amoeba or who knows, a snail, right? So this is already the clearance. So it almost looks to me that something will resurface. Something is going to be almost like a block in the road, and you need to kind of like deal with that, because when the World reverses, and that's giving you opportunity to reverse it whenever this card shows up, and that's why it's also half one, it's telling you to reverse it, right? So you have that within your capability to do that if you do the right thing. It's atonement or doing the right thing, or in any case, if you reverse it, then it's full steam ahead. And the door number 3, ooh, this is a definite yes, and it's going to happen very quick, and it could be, this is called love arrows, it could be expression of love, could be somebody really, really wants to reach out to you, communications galore, and this is kind of like yes, yes, yes on all levels. So that's kind of like what we have from a pick a card. So let's go to the second level of things. and see. Leo. So, Madame and Mrs. Leos, do we have any Leo? Sally's not here today. She's usually my resident Leo over here. So, let me put a stamp over here. So, Leo. Let's see what we have over here. Kylie picked a good one too. Awesome. Actually, it's not bad with the world one. It's just like it's always kind of, oh gosh, why did I take this road? But it always ends well. So we have like Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands. Woo. Any Leos here dating? Because that can be lots and lots and lots and lots of options. And again, you're getting, your spirit agents are saying, nope, you're not escaping. You have to give it kind of like proper read. So you have a Six of Pentacles, the Hanging Man, Ace of Wands, Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Karma card, and the Emperor. So I see lots of fire here, guys. So let's check it out. So what do we have? We have a Knights, Cups and Wands, but Knights can mean people. Then we also have a Page of Cups over here. Now, finale is freaking amazing with this Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor. So everything that I say, keep in mind that everything is going to really work well, right? So Knights are generally talking to me, usually the dating situation, or usually something that is fleeting. Maybe you're collaborating with somebody at work, but this is not a permanent collaboration. Let's say you have a contractor you need to call, and it's going to be very productive. This, in the dating world, it means kind of like making a decision. If you know this person has a staying power. Knight of Cups is somebody who is really romancing with flowers and candies and that kind of stuff, where Knight of Wands is kind of like more up your alley. That could be kind of like Sagittarius in your life, or a fire sign in your life, which this one is a water sign. And kind of like there's also part that is you. Interestingly enough that I lined them up like that, because Six of Pentacles is part of you is, and it's like two basically cards that have scales. This is one of them, and not even all the decks. But look how he's measuring. He said it has to be equal. Everybody's asking something, and somebody really wants to share something equally, right? So maybe you're like approaching relationships in a different way right now. Instead of like, oh, this guy makes my heart beat faster, you're kind of like going into that a little more rationally, I would say. And even kind of like thinking like that, it's not really typical thinking for you. You're kind of like feeling, oh my gosh, what is this? Why do I have this paradigm shift, right? The Hanging Man is like always that way. But if you can see, he's excited, and it almost like it's the Wheel of Fortune that we also have hidden right there. So where is your fortune over here? The fortune is, you need to process something emotionally. You need to put yourself in a situation where you actually do feel uncomfortable, but where you're putting yourself willingly. So for example, you're single, you marry, you're excited about it, but it's going to be lots of adjustments, right? Some of us are not made for it. So the Hanging Man is basically talking about the shift of perspective. This also could refer to somebody from the past resurfacing, coming back. This can talk about heavy duty sex and hot sex and kind of like sizzling moments. Or it could be that maybe you put relationships on your back burner and now you want to kind of like revisit them, right? Keep in mind with this, whenever it's Mercury retrograde coming up, we usually focuses on the relationship, focuses on something. Remember how I was saying, I don't know for who, was it a Scorpio? How sometimes you kind of like move forward and you don't feel wow about the partner, and then you move on, and then you find somebody who loves you, but then things don't work out with this person who loves you, and then you meet the other person that you met at the other time, but at that stage it's a different timing, it's a different energy, and it kind of like works. So that's kind of like the message that we see in Ace of Wands. But then you also have Page of Cups, which also tells me that, you know, there's like something budding. It's almost like, to me, it's always connecting with spring, and it's kind of like another, it's almost like an ace. I always consider pages aces, except they're like more verbally able to kind of like say what they want. And then this is coming to a big tada moment. So clearly you're having Sagittarius, Aries, really highly kind of like the energies are really important. So that means high fire energy that you have, and Sagittarius is generally very worldly, and Sagittarians kind of like philosophy. It's going to appeal to kind of like your need to have intellectual food. And on the other hand, the Emperor could be a little bit of forceful, maybe curt, but you will really admire like the self-made quality of this person, right? So the options are there. They're like options that are going to stay. This is so freaking amazing that you have over here. And also something that in the past didn't really work. You know how they say keep repeating things over and over and expect different results? You're insane. But this is saying exactly the opposite. It's saying, yeah, something that you kept repeating over and over and didn't work, now it will work. So you, Leo, tell me. You need to put me in the comments what the heck or who the heck this was. And maybe it's a job from the past. Maybe it is you're revisiting some ideas, or maybe just simply a person. But even if it's not any of that, this can indicate that you know, like something that maybe you kind of like put it aside, such as, let's say, search for a relationship. Now it's revived, and now it's more kind of like valid about that. So let's see that. Oh, thanks, Kylie. You're doing such an amazing job. Because I don't know what happened to Barbie. She cannot post any more stuff. So I kind of like put it right away. It's not a big deal, but for this, I bet she can use some help as well. So thank you so much. And round of applause for Kylie for helping. Thank you so much. So Pisces, do we have any Pisces? Dreamy Pisces over here? Somebody said, well, Pisces are like piranhas. They can be such a cute fish, but like, don't be in their way if something kind of like really goes wrong. So it's kind of interesting. So let me put a timestamp. Pisces. Pisces. Fishes. I got a whole bunch of Pisces for my little kind of like tiger from Australia, nonetheless. Kylie, I will show you my Australian fishing trip. Where is it? Does it have it? Look at it, all the way from Australia, coming over here. Australian sardines, and Mr. Tiggy loves it. So Pisces, you have Seven of Cups, very kind of like Piscean card that we have it over here. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Kylie. And I know, like, you're already like in the middle of the night, and when I'm in the middle of the night, it's just like, just don't ask me anything. I play this card that I told you. Like, usually I just do it to unwind in the evening. And sometimes, you know, like, you just make mistakes because you're just not paying attention anymore. So now this is interesting, Pisces. You have Seven of Cups, which kind of like is more or less being in sync with who you are. It's about dreaming, but it's also about being lost in your dreams. However, in this period of time, because we are first going through Aries, and Aries is particularly difficult for you, so it's usually the opposite sign that is really difficult for you. So it will be Virgo, right? And also the very next one after you, it is difficult because the energy just kind of like you go over the hump and now you're going down, right? So with Taurus coming through, right, you are also grounding your energy. So this is really telling me that something will be happening for you right away, literally within the 4 days. There's something that's going to be big. It's the essence of justice, or you're going to be in a spotlight, or maybe like, I mean, you called yourself a dreamer, you know, John Lennon, like, I mean, imagine kind of like thing, and everybody was telling you, no, it can't be made, like you are asking for too much. Guess what? You are not asking for too much. You're asking for exactly what you want. If you're looking for a partner, the Emperor is showing up. Somebody saying, okay, I'm here, I'm for you. It's somebody who's reliable, who is willing to sign their name on the dot, and who is willing to kind of like deal with this, right? And then in the end is like the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is kind of like due diligence, and that's the opposite of you. So you always have to take in account like that these two signs are almost the same, right? So for example, I'm Aquarius and the opposite is Leo, and it really even complicates this because Leo is my moon sign, and moon sign has the kind of like feminine, it's like a mother, where the sun sign is the father, kind of like in astrology. And keep in mind that I sort of like I hate to call it intuitive astrology because it's not really intuitive. I have different kind of like mathematical kind of like process in this. So Eight of Pentacles to me is Virgo, which is the opposite of you. So now when you have these two signs, so Aquarius should be kind of like very cold and very aloof, and Leo should be kind of like very kind of like pompous. Or so basically, right? If you really listen to early, remember the singer Madonna? She used to be big when I was like a teenager, and she always had interviews where she wanted to be a revolutionary. She's a Leo, but she actually wanted to be what Aquarius is, right? Where, you know, Aquarians also want to kind of like be recognized and being cherished. But when it comes to that, it just like feel completely confused because Madonna ultimately really needed the pomp and everything until you really mature and you kind of like remove these negative parts of the sign. So for you, Pisces, kind of like you kind of like sometimes have this like too much of a dreamy quality. So of course, this dreamy quality on one hand is kind of having this balance on the other side of the teeter-totter, which is, hey, you need to put your affairs in order. Things need to kind of make sense. And that's why you're going from 7 to 8 over here. And the Eight of Pentacles is kind of like work on the details. Right now you can ground it, as I said, kind of like figure out how you really want to move it forward. So and everything together, let me see, 4 and 8 is 12 and 7 is 19, so it's giving me the energy of the sun, which is extremely positive card. So you can fully trust both yourself and everybody else for this following 2 weeks because this is a bi-weekly reading. If there is a man who is coming through, you shouldn't doubt. He's maybe not he's not having that dreamy quality, if you wish, but he has something charismatic and impressive about him. And, you know, he speaks nicely or he wears nice clothes. And I'm not talking about you being materialistic. It's just kind of there is a presence. Like, I mean, this person can be very short in stature, but he or she is going to feel big and powerful. Or you're going to admire the quality because you're very altruistic, admire the qualities of this person, really kind of like being there for you. You know, like these 5 languages, so this is kind of like the language of service, somebody stepping in, possibly helping you. So that's going to be interesting. So let's see. Good product, Cat. What product? What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? I'm like Tiger. Attention. What's product? So the next one, like Prince, he was 5'3". That's right, exactly. Canadian, he was 5'3". And guess who else? Rod Stewart and David Bowie. Remember those early days? They were like just exploring their eccentric nature. And then when I watched the concerts of David Bowie, like, oh my gosh, what a gentleman, what a good looker, kind of a thing. Same as with Prince, right? Oh, the sardines. Okay, yes. Well, Tiger loves it. Aquarians, we are nice. We are next. That's right. See, Aquarians, train of thought is just like, and that's why it's always good when I have air signs friends, because they're the only ones who can follow me. Normally, everybody else thinks I'm nuts. Because, hey, are we still on this subject? Like, I have a Scorpio friend. He's like, are we still on this subject? Because it sounds like you're talking about something else. Oh, yeah. I kind of like have 4 or 5 different themes simultaneously happening, and I can converse simultaneously about all of them. Where are the people today? Like, I guess maybe I announced it too late. Is it better for you if I announce live on Friday? Or is it better for you if I announce it a week in advance or something? Or just right after this? I don't know. Because last night I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't put it on. I started to explore a little bit more, but if you advance it way too in advance, then people are like, what are you doing? So Aquarius, the first card is 2 of Cups. Ooh, I seen a dreamy guy in a park with a dog, and his dog's name is Kepler. So I said, hey, you know, what a cute dog. It's Australian Shepherd, of course, which was like the second dog I was kind of considering, second breed. And I said, wow, are you a physicist or astronomer? He goes, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, I have the dog for 4 years and you're the very first person who kind of like connected why he got his name. So then he had a nice smile, so we'll see where this goes. Looks like we are going to poo-poo on something that is going well. It's a typical for Aquarius. So Two of Cups is, yeah, it's going to be some kind of attraction of some sort, and it's kind of like well positioned. It should kind of like go in a good direction. It looks like it starts from friendly banter. It's a 3, right? 3 to me is always corresponding with nurturing energy of some sort. However, then we get this 5 of Swords, and we're kind of like killing everybody in the process in order for us to win, which is never a win. When people are waiting for the next situation where they can slate you or can do something. So it could be some kind of like verbal jousting, if you wish. And this is like what they call it, Pyrrhic victory. Am I pronouncing this properly, right? And so this is kind of like 5, 7, 8. It could be financial dealings of some sort. I better watch what I say with this transaction in Croatia, because everything seems to be going okay, but this is kind of like I need to win at every cost. So it will be a message to me, don't sweat the small stuff kind of a thing. Not everything has to work out this way. It's a victory though. It's a victory, but it's in a victory where we would not feel spiritually well. It's kind of like one of those, right? So I would, even though, as I said, everything is going to work well for the next 2 weeks, Aquarius, how about we kind of like check ourselves instead of like other people giving us this feedback? Like, we need to be kind in a situation, we need to be loving, because that energy is being open to us. We are kind of like getting this energy flying our way. So why are we shutting door to that? So we need to be ready. We need to be ready to take this energy and to kind of like surf on it, because that's going to be very, very important over here, guys. And that's the thing, all at the same time. It's right. Meeting yogi. So who is next? We have 3 more, I guess, and this one is Sagittarius. So let's go with Saggies. You showed up in Leo's reading, so guys, if you're Sagittarius, check it out. The stamp, let me put it here. Already. And Sagittarius, I can definitely write the stamps on my phone as well, but like these Galaxy Note is not as easy to kind of like, I have to kind of like figure out it better. I still like my Rocket book. Sagittarius. We have the Devil. The Devil did it. And these 2 reversed. Then you have the Emperor reversed, and then you have a 6 of Cups reversed. So there are 2 sixes, guys. That's soulmate, but you also have the Devil. So if you have a Capricorn in your life, if you have Libra, or if you have Aries, that could be the people who will be coming forward in this 2-week period. But with 2 sixes and the Devil kind of like coming together with the Emperor not having much say, or being somebody who is raging out of control, it is really important here to know that could be somebody from the past. This, to me, it's always that Mercury retrograde kind of like a feeling, somebody from the past coming and they want to take advantage of you. Literally, it could be sexually, it could be financially, it could be that they want to steal something from you, and they really feel they can do it, because the Devil doesn't really care for any kind of fairness. Fairness is not on the menu with this person. So it's going to be something that you need to deal with. It's going to be a very strong energy. The Devil can also kind of connect to signing contracts, or maybe you have issues with your boss, or maybe we are just tempted. This can be a little bit of codependency, that we actually get involved with this past person, thinking, oh, they have changed. You know how I said to some signs, I don't know which one it was, I said doing the same thing over and over is official insanity, but not in your case. In your case, for that sign was, no, you actually are being told you can do it, but in your case, it's telling you exactly that. You have done something. You have done some insanity already. So don't do it again, right? Because this is not a good card when it's up. It's much better when it's reversed, because it means we are tempted. I will say there are exceptions to the rule, and I'll be very blunt with you. What the exception here is let's say you really need some sex. You really need some sex. And you really don't care if this is going to be a cost emotionally. You know, I say always, like, look, if you're hungry, eat. What can I tell you? But it's going to derail you. It will derail you, because this is kind of triggering our lowest kind of things, where we want to take shortcuts, where we kind of like want to do wrong thing because it's good in the moment. So you'll be tempted, and as I said, it could be something from the past or something that happened to you in the past that is a trigger for something to happen, or simply you're getting somebody from the past literally coming back and, hey, how you doing? Remember Joy from Friends, kind of a thing. So, and now we have, I guess I have 3 because possibly Aries is one of them. So it will be Cancer and Capricorn. And I got Aries, so you're being pulled out. And Chris is driving. He goes like, why the heck my sign has to come last? And let's see. Ah, there it is. It's not. It's penultimate Capricorn. Okay, let's put a timestamp. Capricorn. And Cancer, you're going to be last. Oh, you sense this coming, Kylie? That's going to be really interesting. Really interesting to see. I just wish that people are a little bit more talkative. Like when I put this, like, I mean, live. I know that I love here the crowd that we have, but there are people who watch it later, and rarely people leave kind of like a thing, right? So it would be nice to hear from you as well. So Capricorn, Chris, you're giving me the energy over here. And Chris is for sure driving to his girlfriend. I'm kind of like having this feeling. And there's a 6 of Cups. There's somebody from the past. There's a lovey-dovey. There's a friendly of energy. If Chris, that's the case, then just press Y for yes or N for no if you can. I don't want you to kind of like go in a ditch. But you are kind of like a little bit apprehensive about it. 9 of Swords is there. There's like anticipation, but there is also some kind of like level of fear, or maybe that's what's going to be of some sort. It looks like they're going to be sex. Kind of like a quick summary for a guy. Guys are kind of like needing different readings from us women. With women, like, I really give them why and how the karma would work differently if they took a different path. So sometimes people feel, oh, just this happened to me, not realizing that if they did something else, right, it will be way worse. For example, we always anticipate will be better. So 9 of Wands is like that sexy kind of like attitude in us, but maybe kind of like the 9 of Swords is not a good card to have. Let me just be very honest, because 9 of Swords is what they call it, wash machine brain. When you're swirling with the thoughts, what's going on, you're wondering if somebody likes you, but you don't want to express it. And also, like, you are yourself on the edge of, do I move it forward? Do I not move it forward? Kind of like, how do I and what do I do that in this kind of a situation? Also, your Devil, 15, is coming through. So it's 9 and 6, it's 15. That's the Devil in tarot. So it's really telling you, it's a hidden message. It's saying, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Speak your truth. Speak what you feel in the moment. Even if this moment is fleeting and you feel different in a different moment, this is kind of like where you have this attitude, and this is kind of like what is basically happening. So you're moving forward, but you're not moving forward with some kind of like big commitment. It's rather kind of like exploration of some sort. So that's really nice, right? So let's see, Spirit has you come towards the end, so you will stay with us the whole time. That's cute. Cute. So, and then we are on the last sign, and that is Cancer. Cancers. Gentle souls. I mean, hopefully you're not crying that I just like didn't address you up to this point. Let's just put this salad over here. And let's see, Cancer. Ooh. So we have Knight of Pentacles. Lots of knights. Energy of knights is coming through. I don't know if you notice. Like, I mean, I'm always looking also for a general energy as well. And the knights are, certain things are moving forward. And that's clearly the case with you as well. So Cancers, you have Knight of Pentacles, you have 3 of Wands, and you have 3 of Cups. So let's go with these two cards first. They're so squishy. Oh, like they're also very edible, right? Kind of like yum yum. So Nine of Pentacles, no, I'm kidding. I actually really, really want to lose the weight that I need to lose. And it's 60 more pounds left. Ouch, right? And I did 40, I lost 40. And, but then I really want to switch to non-meat because it's just like not kind. The Knight of Pentacles is like there's like some slow motion forward, maybe like, I mean, there's a direction, there's like something, ship is finally steered the proper way, maybe you're meandering, maybe kind of like you were doing kind of like things, right? And then things are finally going in a good direction, right? However, having said that, it's interestingly also they have a 2-3. So I don't know if you have a third party situation or you have a friendship of a sort where you're not able to get out of that friend zone and you actually want more, or somebody wants more in the situation. If this is you who want more, or them, I really think things are going to get really clarified in the situation. And clarification is going to be literally, I'm looking for something different, or I'm already kind of like working on something and you kind of like are showing your affection towards somebody, and then the person says, actually, I have been seeing somebody and I want to see where this is going and how this is going. And that's kind of like how you go with that, which kind of like is going to hurt you, I would say, both ways, if you have to reject somebody or if you're rejected. So this is really telling me also that if you continue more or less just like friends with somebody, or there's like a matter of friendship, or there's a matter of some collaboration, because 3 of Wands is kind of like decisions. It's my card of ships. As you can see, it's a really big ship here. So what are the ships? Friendship, relationship, partnership. What ship am I forgetting over here? But then you have 3 of Cups, which is this ultimate kind of like girlfriend or a friend card, right? It's kind of like everything works out and everything works well, but you might feel like let down by a friend, or you might feel this person is not really your friend, or they're looking only on your interest. So you're going to, because you're like a moon child, right? You process things like on an emotional level. Oh, I remember, because I was married to Cancer who had ascendant Aries. So he would tell me 2 years later that he didn't like that I spoke to somebody. So jealousy, that was like really probably rampant. I didn't even get a whim of it until later, that he's blaming me for it, for just somebody talking to somebody, right? Meanwhile, you know, he was not an angel himself. So Cancers, kind of like don't take everything seriously like you're being told. Move slower, I would say. If you really want to see long term with somebody, I would just say not to rush things and just kind of like move in a little bit kind of like more diligent, I guess, direction. Don't risk it, let's put it this way. It's not kind of like the risk kind of a thing. You have a moon in Cancer in the 4th house. So that's something with family needing yogi or father issues. I don't know if you ever had feeling that he was either emotionally overwhelming or emotionally absent of some sort. That can be also very nurturing as well. So that kind of like can work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm sorting this out and trying to prepare it for the 2 weeks from now when we have the next one again. Let's remember, there is like 1st of May. It's the next date that we have. And oh, look at this, almost done. And so that way, if I'm not in jail, of course, if I'm not in jail, because I'm going to go and see my dad. So we are going to do right now mods. You guys go first. Where is my deck? Where is my Morgan Greer deck? So let's go in the I'll look it up for you, Knitting Yogi. If you send me your information, just remind me of that, and I'm going to look it up for you. All right, Knitting Yogi. The card for you is 4 of Swords. So it's enough. You did lots of meditation. I think you're doing lots of gratitude, kind of like affirmations as well. It is really time to reemerge from your shell, right? Look at this, the Knight And even though it's threatening, it's really nothing happening. So it is time. This is now falling down, and his shield is opening. It's time to look, and it's a sword. So it's kind of like time to engage in a dialogue or is something. It's kind of like really really important, right, for you to move forward. It's also, as I said, even though it's a card of gratitude, which is a really good energy, and it's, I think gratitude is so powerful. It's more powerful than love. And that's why writing this gratitude journal is so powerful, because it generates these positive karmic moments for us. So something like that is happening. Then we have Lorna H. Lorna H. Oh, I'm getting Page of Cups. Lorna H, are you flirting? Are you out on a market or some sort? Because there is like some flirtation appearing. It could be somebody who is Pisces. It could be somebody who is a water sign, who kind of has a little gentle quality in them. So it's not going to be, whoa, what you're doing kind of a thing. No, it's going to be, hey, I really like your shirt, or you have such a nice smile, kind of like very light approach over here. So it's still energy. We don't know how it flies, but in where it will go, but it's kind of like really nice. Somebody's going to make you feel really good. Then Kylie, and Kylie, you're getting again lots of cards. Holy moly. So getting the moon reversed, which is great. You're getting the strength reversed. So is it something about, and this one also wants to come through. Oh, it's the magician, which is interesting. That's the Mercury, which is the opposite of Sagittarius. You also have to think of Gemini all the time. So the moon reversed is good. Why did I say it's good? Because as much as, you know, like it depends also for which sign. For Sagittarius, the moon upright is really confusing. And even though it pushes you toward kind of like dreaming big dreams, you always come up with very impractical solutions, and it always they end up tits up kind of a thing. When it's reversed, it's really different. It's kind of like that you're finding your path, you're finding the clarity, like this bigger kind of like wishes can be now done. And it could be also about some kind of commitment that you're getting rid of, that you're getting a complete clarity. Remember how I was telling for one sign, like it's one thing is like finishing a relationship, another thing is like closing all this emotional strings and everything, because that can take years and it can push our buttons, and the strings can be pulled in a different relationship because the new person could be just the same energy in a different body kind of a thing. You're dropping this all off. This Four of Pentacles is telling me this energy, or maybe you really wanted to commit, you really wanted to do something. Now you're kind of like feeling a little bit different about it. It's kind of like you're feeling, I need to drop the walls, and you're fully ready, which means you're emotionally ready to take on anything that is happening. Even falling down, you're feeling so strong, because that's also why Five of Cups reverse showed up. So this could mean that something is coming back. So there could be someone coming back or something coming back. Someone coming back means somebody who was meaningful to you emotionally, and maybe somebody with whom commitment didn't happen. That can kind of like be clearly there. Be open to that energy, because the person will tell you something that is going to be really important for you to have and know. I don't know the outcome of it. I know it's going to feel like a victory. It's going to feel that you can do anything. You're going to feel validated. You're going to feel justified. So this is all good, but what kind of like is going to happen in the meantime is going to be emotional. Is going to be emotional time, which is going to trigger you. It's going to trigger your sensibility about was it not good for you kind of a thing. But explanation is going to please you, and that's why you're getting a karma card over here, and it's like really really fast one. So something can happen really really quick. And remember, magician has everything. You have everything that you need for whatever event this is, or whoever this person is. So you also have Pisces, you have Virgo, you have a Leo, you have Aquarius, and you have Gemini and Sagittarius strongly showing. So there are going to be lots of personalities you will be dealing with that. So see, there we go. A mini reading for you. Who is next? Chris, driving Chris. What do I have here for you? Chris, you're getting Knight of Cups reversed. That's kind of like that flaky attitude where you say one thing and you do another thing. So be kind of like, this is a warning. If this is you, it's telling you. And it's also a warning like that you're going to be taking the mask off somebody else and just see what is really there. It's still emotional. So I know that you're like with a Scorpio lady. So it could be simply kind of like a way of romancing. Keep in mind that Scorpios are predators, right? And which is good for Capricorn. Oh my gosh, like those two sex signs meeting together. Oh, it can go wrong. So what I mean by predators, I mean they're not going to go in romance for too long. That's Pisces domain, right? That's Pisces. Pisces is like kind of like dreaming about the romance and holding hands, or Cancer is like buy me gifts and food and let's hold hands while we are eating, kind of a thing, right? Scorpio is like, I like you, I love you. Yes, stars are great. Now let's have sex, kind of a thing, right? So be careful of these rush kind of like things over here, because that's what this card can indicate. Lynn Westbrook, we have Seven of Swords reversed. You're lucky because this is not nice card when it's upright. It's upright, talking about people taking advantage of you, doing something behind your back. This is something like what happened to me yesterday. I'm getting a phone call from a girl who was kind of acquaintance, not really a friend, but we walked the dogs in the same park. And it came to the point that it was like more socializing with people versus spending time with Tiger. And also like the gossip that has been spreading. And I don't know, you need to know something about me. I hate gossip. And if I ever fall into this, I find, oh, I'm so negative. I have to wash myself. I feel unclean. So I decided to kind of like step away from this little circle and just completely just be on my own with Tiger, right? So the phone call that I'm receiving, the call yesterday from this lady, right? So I pick up and say hello, and then you hear that she's actually on her walk with her dog, and she's talking to somebody. She's talking to somebody about me and about the other people. Full gossip I heard on the phone. So I listened for a while, I have to say. I was curious, and I hung up, and then the phone already dialed me back, but at that stage I said, well, let's not listen, I heard enough. So for you, this is exactly something that may happen, something that can open your eyes, something that can kind of like reach the clarification of what you want and how you want it. So this is really, really important here to know. And also that you might not need to do anything or tell them, and you will have the path and kind of like how you want to deal with this, right? So did I forget? Let me see who else is here. Oh, Barbie and Barbie and Barbie, and I'm going to record this for Barbie as well. Just take a picture and record it, because otherwise, oh, I can put a timestamp. I'm going to put a timestamp here somewhere. Timestamp for Barbie. Okay, so she can go there. Take a picture. I wish I thought of it. Oh my gosh, she has a 6 of Wands. Oh, everything is good. Barbie, you're going to feel victorious. You're going to feel okay. Everything is going to go your way. So, oh my gosh. Except very soon somebody's going to try to kind of like take this away, this kind of feeling. So enjoy while you're on top, as they say, right? So, guys, you're also forgetting to kind of like tell me about the new series and something that I should watch. I watched this Theft of the Gallery. That was actually not bad. Documentaries. Barbie, Kylie, Kathy, and Kathy's. Are you still Kathy here? And happy Caturday to you. Kathy, you're having Knight of Pentacles reversed. So there's a very slow energy. You did say that you're Taurus, right? Are you from Toronto, Kathy? I almost like feel that I know you. So Knight of Pentacles reversed is something super slow. It could be that somebody's pretending to be a friend who is not a friend. So you will be kind of like, it's almost like the people who come in your life for the next 2 weeks, you'll feel like they're Trojan horse. They're bringing gifts, but they're also bringing troubles at the same time. So you're going to be nervous. Somebody might offer some financial dealings of a sort, and you might feel, I kind of like don't want to kind of like deal with this at all. So I'm scrolling down, and if I forgot any of my moderators, because this is only for the mods, guys, and because they are sticking here with me through thick and thin for years and helping everything, so I'm just scrolling down to see if I omit anybody. If I did, raise your hand and let me know. What series are you asking me, Knitting Yogi? What was the name? The Theft here. Let me just check it out. It's on Netflix, and it is called "This Is a Robbery." I guess the world's biggest art heist. That's the series. So guys, now we are going to the second pick a card. Oh, I didn't put a Cancer. I didn't put the Cancer stamp. So it's going to be a guess, I guess. And this is going to be the second one for pick a card. So ask a question that is different from the one that you asked before, right? And that is going to give you the information. You just mentioned it went to the kitchen for water. Yeah, so it's called what did I say? It's called This Is a Robbery, the world's biggest art heist. And they didn't solve it. It's $10 million for picking, guys. So we should kind of put our psychic minds to it and deal with this. All right. So let me put that icon on so I can hide this for a bit. You guys think of your question. So this is a left door. I should call it door left. Door. Ooh, this is like a middle, and this is the right. Okay, so let's remove this and come back on the other screen. So there I am. Pick a card. Different question, guys. It's more like yes or no. You know that yes or no is not as potent as regular reading. That's why I always tell people also 15 minutes and 30 minutes and 60 minutes not the same. And the big difference is that I can give the answer by like I check and double check and triple check and quadruple check when I do a bigger reading, and then I can know like, yeah, it might happen, it's not going to be in your best interest, right? So it's kind of like where tarot gets very tricky. So okay, so if you thought about left door over here, you're getting 4 of Cups, and the person is still also seeing his 4 of Cups but not that enthusiastic about it. So it might be an opportunity that is presenting itself, but you're not going to feel that this is like what you want. So it's almost like some kind of negotiation of a sort. Maybe you think it's not a good offer. Let's say if it's a job, if it's some kind of money, if it's some kind of like dealings, or if it's a relationship, or you maybe are just feeling a little bit depressed and hence you're not able to get it. So I suggest some 30 minutes of daily kind of like walking or some serotonin inducing kind of like exercise. It's going to kind of like maybe shift this attitude. So door number 2 is again in the same position, the world reversed. So it's probably a no initially. It can be turned around. It's going to be a little bit of a hassle turning it around. World is hard to turn around. You know, it's a cycle of events that has to happen. Maybe new cycle of some sort, right? So there is like there's solid 4 signs. Maybe it could be Scorpio, like Aquarius, Leo, or Taurus that have something to do with that, or even their opposite signs because of the reversals. Yes, it does give you ability to deal with something on the past, something that you might not be even aware of, because we pretty much just know this life, you don't know the past lives. But this is kind of like bringing people on the surface that we need to deal with in order to release our own issues, our own whatever, insanity, if you want to call it, right? Like Eckhart Tolle, I think, calls it insanity or unconsciousness. And then number 3 is the Emperor. So this is the answer is yes, going to be cool and collected, and that's kind of like it's going to feel, yep, I deserve it. Yep, I need to get it. That's all freaking good over here. So yeah, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, I mean, we did get to the end of it, and I know I blabbed a little bit too much again, but please forgive me. I hope we had a good time, even though it was less of us. And hopefully we are going to get here, at least in the northern hemisphere, spring for the next time around. So it's going to be 1st of May, guys. I hope everybody has the beautiful April until the end of the April. So I'm going to start delivering May. So hopefully I can catch up this rhythm around the 20th or around, like, 20 to 25th to give all the monthlies. Fingers crossed, right? You guys know that I love you. You know that Sophie loves you. She was here in the beginning, but then when I started to spray the polish on the table, she was like, no, I have nothing to do with those chemicals. Leave me alone. Get away from me and get lost, kind of a thing, right? If you are on my Instagram, you should see the picture I posted yesterday. It was like she was like a little statue. It was really, really cute. And this is it. Oh, thanks, Carly, for reminding. Let me put here email mods. Email mods. Put that note. And we'll do that. And it also would be good that all mods have, I guess, if you wish, each other contacts, so that way if something happens, like Chris sometimes emails me, oh my gosh, Kat, I cannot hear you. It's kind of like helpful. That's why I don't know why I didn't think about it before. Okay, so I'm leaving a very short music for the end. Oh, Kelsey, this is so sweet of you to say. I'm just doing this because I enjoy it, and I really hope that something somewhere is going to help somebody. And if I just help one person, I think I did some of the karma that I need to wash away. So I wish you all the best. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks, and all the best in the meantime, and we'll be in touch. Love you guys.